bringing sexy back. Yeah.
All right. What's up, guys? Jason Payne, the host of the Sexy Business Status Podcast. And I am here today with one of my boys, Stefan. Is it Brule or Brule?
Stefan Brule.
Stefan Brule. So Stefan is a good buddy of mine. Been hanging out a lot for the past year. And high energy. We have a lot of the same mentors, a lot of the same coaches, a lot of the same mindset, energy, married, kiddos, all that kind of stuff. And I want to bring him on. He sponsored one of our previous events. And I like where you're going, what you're doing. And I was like, dude, freaking need to get him on a rip some lips for a minute.
Well, first time taken away, first time on a podcast. Honored to be with you, and I greatly appreciate it, man. And I was also we were talking, I didn't even think about it. It was my first stage ripping it up with you at the real estate event as well. 2 weeks ago. So kind of game changer, a rapid launch for me, and it's a big honor to be rubbing shoulders with the big dogs. I try to put in time at your events and help people in your community. So
appreciate it.
I greatly appreciate you guys giving back and giving me the opportunity to come on here.
Totally. So one of the biggest things when it comes to doing a podcast and having a podcast, so most of our listeners are like us, small business owners, grinding it out, trying to build something. They might be a solopreneur right now. They might be an owner operator right now. They might be in the scaling phase. They might be, doing, millions of dollars in revenue. But you're somewhere in that phase of the grind mode. You're not in retirement mode. Most people listening are not a W-2 employee. Most of them.
That's you guys.
Yeah. So that being said, when it comes to the value that I bring and the energy that I want to bring to our listeners is, first of all, where did we meet? Yeah. And why have you been hanging around and flirting around me and Nick and that game for almost a year now?
Absolutely. Well, I was in the home service space, so I did flooring. So I always would see you online and what you were doing, even when you guys were like young in the cuts, just getting up and launching. And man, I'm a fan. Sounds crazy, but anybody with success, we were talking about Mr. Sunshine and solar. I'm a fan of anybody that gets out there and puts their work boots and goes to battle, even the people that need help. So I started hanging around your community because it's a unique community. I met so many business owners, big dogs. I met little frogs, Sure. And what I always try to make a point of when I came in is starting at the bottom. And I told you that transparent. I believe giving back, and the more energy you give back, you're going to get back. And it sounds corny, but if you just keep plugging away, I came to support your event, brought a cameraman. Everybody wants to talk to a dude with a camera.
Sure.
So everybody.
So two things that you mentioned right there. Yep. Number one is I didn't know you. We didn't go to high school. We weren't buddies. We didn't go to church. We're not family related. You saw me on social media.
I felt like I knew you.
Right. So because of social media, right?
Yep.
So that's number one. So pay attention that even if people they might not like your shit or share your shit or comment on your shit, but there are thousands, and dare I say tens of thousands of people that are watching your stuff. They just might not heart it and like it or comment frequent enough to where you notice that there's engagement there.
Yep.
But dude, there's people, especially a lot of times, especially if they don't know who you are, they'll be very hesitant to do that because they want to check you out first.
And you'll literally stalk you. You'll be literally shocked at the people and comments that people come up. Like I have this big Samoan dude he's tough. He looks crazy, plays volleyball with me and stuff. He comes up and will bring up points about my content video. I didn't even know that dude was watching it. He's like, man, I'm in shipping. I'm in warehouse. I never thought that that's what salespeople go through. I never thought about their families and had that empathy. He goes, thank you for that gift. This is a big Samoan or Tongan dude. I'm probably offending him one way or the other.
Polynesian,
but not the dude that I would think that would ever be watching my stuff. Yeah. And when you get that, and even the young bucks that come out and the old heads that come out and make comments, I try and do the same thing. If you just keep giving back and commenting. There's a lady, Tina Overfelt, that I went and commented on her stuff. Boom. She came back on 3 things of mine. So if you're not willing to give back a little bit, you're not going to be very successful. And I think that's what your community is predicated off of. And that's why I enjoy it.
Well, and that's what I teach everybody too. And my guys are like, well, how do I, I'm posting all the time. I'm like, yeah, but you have 5 eyeballs.
Yep.
So there's a two-way street there. It's one, you have to be continually posting and you have to get the volume up, right? It's quality. It's not quantity. Like the quality of your post. I'm like, dude, no, it's not. I was like, and you don't even know what the quality is in a post because you haven't done it enough to know what to tweak, how to tweak, when to tweak. So you just start putting stuff out, and then over time, practice, you'll get better. And then naturally people will be like, hey, you're doing this, but like tweak this or move this or do this. Or you'll listen to other greats that we listen to. And I'm like, oh, he always does this really well. He pauses really well here. His captions are different, or he'll bring in this type of person or this type of audience or this call to action or this trigger word or whatever.
Absolutely.
And so Michael Burnoff's going to be on the podcast at 2:00 today.
Jeez.
So later on today, he's going to be sitting in this chair. Yeah.
So something that really messed with my brain when you were up speaking at the Keller Williams event is you mentioned, like, Stefan here is my friend, but if Stefan doesn't produce good content that adds value, I can't get anything from him. So he's just a friend. He's not a resource for me.
Right.
And I still went back. I was like, am I just shooting content like I'm shooting a rap video, just putting some photos and pictures and putting some cool music to it?
Totally.
But what does that do for you and your family other than let you know that I'm a good, credible person?
Yeah.
That I have a family and a hot wife? And like, what does that do for you?
We're mutual buddies.
I went back and I was like, oh, dog, I got to adjust my content. And people love some of the stuff I do. They think it's neat. But I'm just shooting rap videos. I ain't providing anything back to you. So now, getting back with Dakota, shooting those content videos of stuff like, what would Jason want to know? What would Jason want to know? Even a high-level business owner that's always successful, I've got a million things from being in the home service industry that I could put out there that you'd be like, oh, that's dope. Cool, I'm going to share that. Oh, that's legit.
A lot of the reasons why people don't share and don't post, I actually had a marketing gal that was like 99% ready to go, even like sign the contract, ready to work for us, and she bailed over the weekend. And I was like, what the crap? And it was the last interview. So I have like a 3-tier interview process, and I don't get involved until the third one because I make people, vet them and filter them. So Dory and I go to get coffee with this gal, and we're talking with her, and it comes down to the point to where at the very end I said, you're going to be comfortable being uncomfortable being on camera.
Yeah.
I was like, especially in the marketing game, you're going to be taking videos, you're going to be taking selfies, you're going to be doing testimonials, you're going to be talking to people, and you're going to be pressing record hundreds of times a day, whether it's pictures, like I said, reels, whatever the case may be.
Hot tip. That's what you're doing.
Yes. And I was like, and everything up to that point, she was golden, she was in, and I said she has to do that, and she walked. And it was a $15,000 increase, like in salary immediately to come for us. But literally, she was so timid about that. So 2 things. 1, don't be scared to post. Don't be scared to press record. Nobody cares about your zit on your face. Nobody cares that you're sick. Like I just did a bunch of content for my roofing company, and I was sick as a dog, and I sound my horse.
Still sound a little wheezy.
Yeah. It was bad. This is like 2 weeks ago. No, it was a week ago, and it sounded 10 times worse. And I'm like, okay, but I still did it.
Yeah.
And it's still out there. And guess what? Athen's still posting it today, and it's still going, and people are still going to see it.
Yep.
They might notice, like, oh, his voice is a little off, or he's not as much in.
I don't think they're ever going to notice that.
Right.
Like,
but that's what that will stop people. The insecurity,
no need,
and the self-consciousness is what will trump people's opportunity for growth and to add value.
Guilty of sin.
And go do it.
Guilty of sin. That's my biggest thing. I've been psycho. I've been going at it for 10, 12, 15 years. Never missed a Saturday. Never missed a weekend. I work till 2 in the morning. I get up at 6. That's my own personal stuff. But I was always too afraid to share that with people. Yep. And that was my thing. I look at myself on camera like many people, and you don't like what you see. As you do it more, you're like, oh, I actually have some value. I actually have some stuff. You start looking at other people that are doing it, and you're like, that guy's no different from me. He just looks like a Chad or a Craig or a Scott, and he's got 300,000 people following him, but he's delivering content. So how I got over that is I had to get around people with more content. That's what, like, more confidence. That's what I'm doing here with you. I know I feel comfortable being uncomfortable my first time on a podcast, but I know I have somebody that's done it, and it doesn't matter because we're going to go at it. We're going to bring some energy. We're going to give back to people. It's going to be good no matter what.
Right.
But I had to get my first thing, and it's funny, you mentioned Chappie. The first thing I did is went and it sounds bad, I borrowed Peter's balls. I literally hit him up on Instagram. I knew him for many years. I supported his shit for 2-3 years before that. Dude, keep going, brother. Appreciate you. I have all these things. Like, dude, don't stop. This is fire. Keep going. And then I hit him up the week he just moved in his new studio. So I think he was like, oh, dog, no, I got this. Like, but I wanted to go see how he did it. Now, I'm not a yoked out crazy beast like him.
Sure.
That dude, he may not be the most outrovert person. He gets on camera. He does the podcast. He does appearances. He shakes hands. He meets people. Anytime I've ever been at your event, and I'm like, hey, Peter, can you meet my friend? He's like, let's go. Done. And he brings the heat. So I got around that, and that's how I really broke my ice of getting more comfortable. But again, I have people like my wife that looks good in a beekeeper suit. She can't take a bad photo. Me, I always feel like I'm like, ooh. But dude, that's just here.
Yeah.
It's
all mental.
It's all mental. So if you're ever afraid of shooting it, just start doing it. Put it out there. The people, your friends and family, they're not buying your stuff anyways.
Grant Cardone teaches that.
Well,
bro, you're not buying my shit.
You're not
anyways.
buying
Why
my
do I
stuff
care?
anyway. So who cares? And I had to come to that realization. And then a lot of people that you didn't even think will reach out.
Yeah.
Even in your family, your inner circle, but that's not what you're after. It's after you and what you want to give out and put your personal spin. I think you know this. This is one of one. Like, this is mint condition, one of one. You ain't coming back. All the dead people ain't coming back. We're just dead people who haven't died yet. I know that sounds bad. So you get this one swing. And if you're wasting this here and what you're doing, like, I think that's what I love about Andy. They're the first people, Andy Elliott, the first people to tell you that they're no different from you. Yeah. And Andy was Andy before Andy was Andy. Like, Jason was Jason before you're now Jason running a $10 million company.
Right.
Dude, now you put disciplines and habits to get there. You didn't fall up. That didn't happen. We know that for a fact.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like, I had to realize that they are no different. Brad Lee is no different from me. Same blood, same everything.
Whalen,
now, did they put in the time, the energy, the discipline, the control? Did they used to have beautiful blue eyes and they're black now? Absolutely. And we're going through that right now.
Right.
We're going. When you say I record a podcast, dude, many problems. Crazy
so
stuff.
One of the biggest things when it comes to, like, so doing that content or doing a podcast or whatever, you just have to understand it and own it and then run with it. I only do one take.
Yeah, I know you. You go up on stage.
I only do one take. Yeah, I do it all the time. Oh, I did it at the
you
event.
and Nikki T.
Yeah, I've had people. I've even had the camera guy say, "Hey, let's do that again, but let's change this." Dakota or other guys I used to work with. Hey, let's go back. No, and they're like, "Well, you stuttered here, or you said this wrong, or you said the wrong date." I'm like, "So change the date in the caption."
Like, we're cool.
But I was like, guess what? Then I'm wasting more time and energy to go back and redo it, and then the insecurity and the self and the like everything bad goes past
straight
after that.
gas. You just move forward. Yeah,
just do it, rip it once. That's my biggest thing. Be like, well, somebody said, Colton Myers, one of my buddies does restoration, brought it up on our Facebook group. Yeah, and he said yesterday, hey, he's like, I got a question about a podcast and this and that. What I do here and here and here, and Nick posted it, and he said, dude, press play. Just get your first episode in. Yeah. That's no matter what you're gonna do. If you're, your first pair, you buy a pair of shoes, put them on. Yep. Just get that first. Just wear them in that first one. Yep. No matter what it is, get that first rep in. Yep. Go to the gym or you walk outside or whatever you're gonna do. Once you get that first rep in, you're like, it's breaking the ice. Yep. But in regards to content, I literally never do a second take. Yeah. So one, I've also practiced thousands. Yes. Like I just looked, was it 50? I think it's like 5,800. Yeah. Let me look here. Yeah, 5,832 posts. Jeez. 100% mine. Yeah. Not from another media team. Yep. Not an assistant. Those particular ones. It's crazy. All mine. That's so insane. I have done over 5,800. Not all videos, but most of them are videos. But you're not just like dilly-dallying and putting little biscuit stuff out there. You're giving tips and business owners. You have messages, and you don't have a lot of offers in your stuff. It's either come to the event where you're getting them in to help them even more, so it's a win-win. Yeah, so I very, very seldomly will post something only promoting the event unless it's an ad. Yeah. Or if I do it and I'm promoting something, I'm also going to give you a nugget and a reason why to come. Yep. And I'm adding value to you. Yep. Right? The people that we love Sean Whalen. Why? Because he has Lions Den, because he has Lions Den Live. Yep. Why do we love Brad? Because he has an amazing podcast and because he speaks. Why do you love Andy? Because he has an entire tribe. And why do you love Grant? Because Grant has, so, but the difference is all those dudes were willing to throw their own event. Yep. Like Andy throws his own event. Even Andy Frisella has his own nuts on the table. Yeah, like dude, Grant Cardone, 30,000 people at Miami Marlins Stadium. Like, you think it's like people that like throw events? People that have once you throw in an event, it's almost like a must be nice comment, right? Or like do you got 200 people or 300 people or 800 people in a room? Like I could easily do that. Like that's not that. Throw enough ads and money at it. Yeah, you can do it. And I'm like, if you've never thrown an event, shut the hell up. Yep, absolutely. Like you have no idea how hard it is to get asses in seats, whether it's free or paid, high ticket or not. Like people have no idea. Just like being a business owner. I think it's like you in the roofing industry. You hear people, I want to do this and I do this, and you're like, dude, that's cute as a button. Like when people come to me, I want to start my own digital marketing company. I'm like, oh, come here, you're adorable. Yeah. Like a little puppy. And not that people won't succeed with the right guidance, just like we did and stuff. Totally. But you have no idea what it takes.
No idea. They have no idea what it gets to 300, 400, 500 5-star reviews on Google and the disciplines and the work and the systems and the processes. I look at people like that. I'm like, oh, you're adorable. Like you just don't know. You just don't know.
Because what they don't see is they just like Andy Elliott says, right? Like disappear for 2 years.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, this big, huge thing. And Andy is in Fountain Hill. Oh my, and this building. And
oh my goodness. The Lambo just dropped from the sky?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. So all of those things is because people don't see the grind because 90% of that grind is not publicized.
Yep.
And when you're doing that grind, very, very few people are smart enough. That two things. One, they're not smart enough to document it and put it out there.
Yep.
That they're grinding.
Yep.
Number two is they don't have the money to hire a content creator or an editor or videographer or in-house media team in order to document that process. And so like right now, like I did a training with home inspectors. I've done hundreds of those. That was the second one that I've ever recorded. And I documented the entire thing. I now have 90 minutes of content to train other home inspectors, to train my own sales team, right? Or to turn into a course and sell it to other roofing contractors.
But here's the distinction. You told me at the Keller Williams event that you were pissed that you did a training, you didn't have it recorded, and you capped that, and now you record it. You have that was literally a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. You're like, never again. I won't do it. Stop. That was stupid. Like you told me, I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm eating Panera bread. Like, okay, dude, this guy, perfect. Yeah, do that, Jason. That sounds smart. And then you execute it, you got it done.
Oh, yeah. Like
and now that's a staple that, like, never again. It's done.
Well, and the funny part is people are like, oh my gosh, it's so expensive. I'm like, you know what's expensive? Your mindset and your lack of commitment and your lack of results that you have right now, that you're not where you want to be where you need to be and where you should be and where your wife deserves you to be, where your kids deserve you to be, where God wants you to be, and your employees and your business wants you to be. And you're not there because you have a scarcity mindset, whether it's time or money or both. And dude, I'm paying Dakota not 6 figures a year, but almost 6 figures a year to do all of my SBS stuff and do my roofing stuff. Between the two of them, it is actually right around 6 figures. But I'm like, I told him, I was like, here's the thing, whenever I say I need you somewhere, he goes. And I've also helped him build out his entire company. Right, he was a one-off.
He's getting invoices from me because I know you.
Yes,
like, absolutely.
Well, dude, how many people like? And that's the part is when you going back to what you said about people that post stuff on social media, they do the cat videos or market updates as a realtor or whatever. You need to add value and educate. And I don't know what the exact ratio is, but Daniel Fleshman taught this on stage at Ryan Stewman's event that I went to, and it was gangbusters. I have notes on my Remarkable to look at it, go back at it. But basically, talked about 4 things. You need to add value and educate. You need you post something interesting, like oh my gosh, like wow, like I had no idea, cool. Something relatable. So something like current, like during, like, oh my gosh, the submarine stuff. It has nothing to do with roofing. But if you can kind of make it twist it that way, the algorithm is going to pick it up because that's a trending thing. Like, that's why no videos were seen last week unless I had to do with the submarine. Because that's all the algorithm was pulling. So something that's relatable with current shit going on, and you can twist it. Grant Cardone did that during the election. And killed it. Oh, I'm sure. So Trump and Biden were going at it. And obviously what happens every single day, all over Twitter, all over the internet, all over the media, all over the news, anywhere you look, it's Biden and Trump. And all of a sudden, Grant Cardone, him and Billie Jean do a podcast. Do you remember that? They go in there and they're like, Grant Cardone lets off 300 employees and files bankruptcy.
I remember that.
And 100% bullshit. But he was like, but guess what? Got your attention. But it's like, because it's all about taking up that real estate in that, you know, in that space. And so Trump and Biden were doing such a good job of getting that audience. And Grant's like, hey, I'm losing views, losing attraction. What do I need to do? So he threw something in there. So something interesting, something relatable, like current, and then add value or educate, or something funny. And so the analogy that I used, I think I've done it on the podcast already, but I'm going to say it again. Have you ever seen Dude Perfect?
I love those guys.
Dude,
who doesn't?
Who doesn't love Dude Perfect?
Who doesn't love those guys?
Like, my kids will go to bed, and my wife and I will be watching Dude Perfect.
Yeah, all day.
Okay, how much value is in Dude Perfect? 0.
Well, it depends on how you look at value, but I know what you're saying. To me, it makes me laugh and happy at the end of the day, but I know what you're saying. They're not solving world hunger or anything.
Yeah, well, and my IQ doesn't get any higher. And I'm not a better dad because of them. I'm not a better husband because of them. I'm not a better employer, and I'm not generating more revenue because of them. Probably the exact opposite on a couple of those things. But the point being is that they have defined clean entertainment. So some people love that they're clean and there's not, you know, all that crap. That's number one. Number two is they understand the power of entertaining people
Yep.
and making people laugh. To where people literally be sitting, adults, just like you said. Oh, I
Yeah.
love Dude. Our kids won't even be watching it. Like,
Why do you have that heart? And why is my natural reaction? I love those guys. You see what I'm saying? That's what they mastered.
Yeah,
I love those guys.
but that's the thing. So with them, and they are multi-millionaires.
Oh, yeah.
They're building a facility in Texas that's like $1 billion.
You'll go to the mastermind. Don't worry.
Oh yeah. I'll go to their grand opening for sure.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah. So the point with that is, so that's what Daniel Fleshman teaches, is those 4 things. So when it comes to content, but a lot of us, we only post, it's like robots. We only post business stuff. We don't ever, and even then it's just business stuff. It's bragging about what you've done and this and that, instead of like, hey, how can I help my audience or someone that's listening about this in general, about business, about being a dad, about X and Y and Z. Case in point.
Yep.
That's why a podcast is so powerful.
Yep.
I already posted it 2 days ago. Sean and Sax, so Sean Whalen and Saxony, they did a 30-minute podcast. I listened to it on Sunday, put on my vest.
Yeah.
It's 106, like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. 106, put on my vest.
You like it hotter. You're good.
Oh, that's how I roll. Yeah, if I like, give me the worst scenario.
Yep.
And then that's when I'll go do my workout.
Yep. I know you're sick.
That's why I don't like 75 hard. I don't do any of my workouts before 10 p.m. I was doing between 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. Why? Because everyone's asleep.
Yep.
That's when I want to be in bed. That's when everything is going against me, and I'm like, that's when I got to push through.
Yep.
But so they did a podcast, and they're talking about marriage. They're talking about life. They're talking about date night.
Yeah.
Oh, that has nothing to do with an apparel company.
Yeah.
Right? An apparel brand. But like that podcast has been shared hundreds of thousands of times. I've shared it with 30 people already.
Yeah.
Even my sales team, CP3, who's on the other side of this wall doing an interview right now. He literally sent it to 4 of his buddies in Iowa, where he's from, and all 4 of them were like, dude, that was fire. Dude, that was dope. That was awesome. But what did he do? It wasn't entertaining or funny. Entertaining in regards to being comedic. So it wasn't funny. It wasn't about, but did it add value as a business owner? And indirectly as a business owner, no. Or directly as a business owner, no. But indirectly, dude,
you want to know what it is? It's The Great Gatsby. You read that book back when you're young?
Oh, yeah. Good movie too.
It's that green light on the other side of that lake.
Yeah.
Where you're standing there as a business owner and you see that green light in the fog and the mist and you know that life is there. You know, because everybody thinks he's badass. Everybody wants to have a marriage and relationship and be able to say whatever they want, whenever they want, wherever they want, however they want, just like Sean Ryan does, right?
Totally.
So that's what it is for me. I see that, and that's what I try to provide. People think I have a legit life. It's amazing. They don't see all the stuff behind the curtains. It's not all rainbows and butterflies. I fight every day like everybody else does, but that's what it is for me. When I see that, it's there. It's possible. When, like, somebody hates on LeBron, I'm like, dude, some dude showed you that it can be possible to make $1 billion as an athlete. Like, that's incredible to me. Like, is that not just phenomenal and blow your mind? You are an example of, if you grind and you do this without any paid traffic, that you can get to 10 to 15 to $20 million. And if you've done that with your tenacity, you're going to get to 30 to 40 to 50 million until you exit and you do whatever you want to do with your life. But that's what it is. When I see these guys, I think that green light, that audastic future where I know it's there. It's there. I don't know how I'm getting across that river. I don't know if we're taking the creaky boat. I don't know if we're walking around the edge. But I know if I trudge and I go through that I can do the same thing. They're no different from us.
And that's the thing, is that these people, like, you have so many followers. Los Hustle teaches this.
Yeah.
And he taught me this actually in the green room before he went on stage at one of my events. And he's like, dude, I don't care. This is before you could pay for the blue check, right?
Yeah.
You can pay $15 a month or whatever, you get the blue check. This is before you could do that. So there was only a handful of people that had it, like legitimate influencers or
The
people
real
that
people,
had audience. And he was one of them. And he's like, dude, I'd rather have 4,000 followers that are my audience that will transact with me instead of 400,000 and a blue check, and all they are fanboys and just wannabes and washed up people and people that just, they'll look at your stuff, but they'll never transact with you. You'll never buy your shit from you.
You have high density followers.
Yes.
People that follow you because of you and what you provide. They go to your events. They do your coaching programs.
Right.
That's high density. Like, that's priceless. And even if you're gaining them at a slower rate, you're getting people that are aligned with your message and what you want to do. So even like the solar guy out there that thinks it's stupid to post, but you're getting 3-4 followers. Again, nobody wants to be at a party that nobody's at yet.
Right.
So it sounds bad. You have to build that. There's no way. I think consistency, like you're saying, is key, and not worrying about what you're getting out there. But also, people don't want market reports. So if you send valuable content and you put it down, that's my biggest struggle. That's why, like, I'm going to leave here and be like, dog, you got to go execute, or people are going to see your stuff.
Yeah.
So I got to show you why you need to be on Google My Business. I need to show you what an effective website is. I need to show you the money you're missing not doing paid traffic and what those actual numbers are in a clear way. At this is your lead cost. This is what you're missing out on. I know you have an organic following. I love you, brother, but this is the end result. You see? And it's no different from investing in yourself. You put that in, you're going to get that out. It's just math. So, yeah, I'm a big proponent of that.
It's funny that you say that. Like, business really is math. And also, social media is math.
Yep.
It really just is. The more content you put out, I said it this morning. It was like, whatever you're doing right now, double it. Whatever your content is, however many times you're posting a day or a week or a month, double it.
And hot tip, respond to your people that are commenting on your stuff in their posts. Want to get your count up on everything.
Yes.
But, dude, these people, some of you guys aren't even responding to the few people that are actually blessing your page and supporting. And then maybe, just maybe, go on their page and like all their stuff and make a couple comments. Even it's like, yeah, that's amazing. Woo! Doesn't matter what it is. It's giving back.
I follow most people that follow me. I follow them back. Now, if they're not engaging on social media and they have like 25 posts, I honestly probably won't follow them because there's no value there. There's just not. Now, if they start doing it, that's a different conversation. But if I see that they're actively posting and it's valuable and relatable, and not just them on the beach, with their spouse, every day and cat videos, then I will follow them because I don't care who you are. People, like, when you're fanboying somebody and you're engaging with them, when you're engaging with them, there's credibility, there's rapport, and there's trust. And then not if, but when you throw an event, or if, but when you have an offer, or someone they know needs your services, they're like, hey, use this guy. Like, it just happened. Her name's McKenna Hurst. She is Melinda, or her maiden name's Taylor, but Melinda Taylor, I went to high school with, junior high with as well too. So junior high school, I haven't seen her sister. She's 2 years older than me. I haven't seen her. I graduated in 2005. It's 2023.
Holla.
So almost 20 years, 18 years ago. Oh shit, that's crazy. So 18 years ago, so 2005 I graduated. I haven't seen her since 2005. She literally sent me a DM, but she follows me on social media. And I've been, like I said, 5,800 posts. And she's been friends with me on Instagram for all 5,800 posts. And she literally hit me up and said, hey, we have a roofing issue. We got this and this and this. Can you come and check it out? She's never liked my stuff, ever.
But she knows you.
But I like her stuff.
But you that is true.
And she knows me. So it's a double fold. So one, and I don't like all of her stuff, but like, family pictures and, this and that. So I'll like her stuff every once in a while, like beautiful family, or like keep killing it, or your kid's so cute, or whatever. And so I'll do some sort of engagement like that. Just nothing crazy. But like, if the big dogs, the Sean Whalens of the world, can literally like and reply back to all of their DMs. I went to Andy's office and was chatting with him, and he's like, oh yeah, he's like, I'll get anywhere from 100 to 3,000 DMs a day. A day. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And same with Brad Lee. Brad Lee, you post on Brad Lee, you give him a tag, you give him a shout out, you comment on his stuff, he'll like your stuff or he'll comment back. Especially in DMs, and especially if it's not like, hey man, let's go to lunch type bullshit. Like, but if it's something legit, like, dude, this is awesome. Or like, hey, what'd you do in this scenario, or whatever, they will engage back with you.
If you don't ask stupid questions. So that's how I got it. After the Peter thing, I joined BNI, and then after that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna pay $1,000 to get into Bradley's Wednesday night call. I've got so many little tips and quips and little things from online. I like, dude, I feel guilty as sin not doing it. So I got into the group, and the first Wednesday night, I'm standing there. I have my laptop on the back of my BMW because my baby's inside, and he wants me. Once I go in that barrier, I can't come back out. My wife's like, why aren't you inside? I'm like, oh, I forgot I have this call. I open it up, and the first couple questions people were asking, they were just muffets, man. It was like, how do I connect with the people that are in my morning circle? And I was like, oh, Lord, this was a waste. I'm not here. I go, these are for people who are just really low and they're just coming in. But then I realized, okay, one, Brad hated, he has no tolerance for that. He toes that off. He helped the dude, but then he caps it. He's like, look, guys, and when you ask those guys real questions. Because of that, that's how I connected with Andy. That's why I paid the one-on-one. Now, if I message Andy something real quick, he gets back to me. Not like we're going out to hang out, but he's like, dude, keep it up. Keep going. I have a string of stuff. I sent him, hey, we had a huge victory, dude. This is crazy. I'm on my way, 2 out of 10, building myself. Appreciate you. Love you, brother. He'll send me like 16 DMs back. You're the man. Let's go. Can't wait to see you. You're so proud. Like, but then his whole team will do that too.
So, but pay attention to that because the quality of the content is that. So, if you ask a stupid question, you're going to get a stupid result. You're not even going to get a result.
Well,
that's the thing is
exactly.
So make sure that when you are interacting or commenting or engaging, that it's relevant, that it's legit, that's credible. That you actually put a fucking thought into it.
You did it before. Yeah, I didn't know we could drop F-bombs. Hell yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, sometimes they come. I try not to.
No, I'm down. I was trying to be on good behavior.
Sometimes they fly.
I was like trying to be good. I'm going to loosen up a little bit. No. I think there, and that's where I was. And as soon as I started, like now I'm friends with Bowski. He's a tech guy in my space where he just kept investing into more people, more leads, hiring. More people, more leads, hiring. Just training, building it up. I don't think they took profits for the first 2 years. The first week they decided to cut the ad spend. I think they made like 800 G's that week. like some, and that's what I'm doing. So now I message dude. I'm like, I'm Bowskiing the shit. I go, dude, I'm pulling a Bowski, and that's all we're doing is buying more leads, hiring more people, training. Buying more leads, hiring more people, training. Just again and again and again and putting up those gains. But now I have those people, and when you ask those people, I was like, dude, do I go get capital for this business? Or he's like, no, dude. You have a money printing machine. You have an ATM that does recurring.
You have cash flow.
Yeah, and I'm able to ask these people. I've already done what I've done because I'm not afraid to ask them. Like, compressing those time frames will change your life, man.
Yeah. So before I let you go, Stefan, what would be, as you're on the come up and you're grinding and you're building, you're hiring, you're scaling, what would be the number one piece of advice you'd give to our listeners?
I would say just get it done. And it sounds so bad, but the old saying, the have and the have-nots will be traced back to the dids and the did-nots. So you're either going to shoot this content, you're either going to get it up, you're going to post it, you're going to get over your fear, or you're not. I think the biggest thing is you're going to arrive and meet yourself in 5 years from now, right? And you're either going to put these things that compress time frames, you're going to put these things that compress and compound like compounding interest and move yourself forward, or you're not. And a lot of the people, the reason why you don't have the confidence to shoot this content and get out or get on a podcast, because you don't have the confidence in yourself yet. So I say go back to the grinding stone. I don't care if you're a big dog, $10, $15 million a year. I don't care if you're 19 years old and you're just starting out. Sure. Get in the gym, build your mental lab, get it strong as shit so nobody can mess with it, and you keep moving forward. And comments, the hate, that's what perpetuates the internet anyways. Look at Andy's stuff. It's hilarious.
Oh, it's hilarious.
So again,
just his tight shorts, man.
Yep, they're tight.
Fantastic,
they're pretty tight.
The comments are awesome.
But I would say at the end of the day, just get it done and know that you're arriving in 5 years. So you're going to arrive a king of your throne, queen of your throne, on top of the world, family loving you, or are you going to pack it in and give minimal effort? Because I guarantee if you give that minimal effort, you're going to get minimal results.
It's okay to fail, but it's not okay to quit.
Exactly.
And that's the difference between people that make it and people that don't. You talk to them like, oh, I did this business, but then I closed it down, and I did this, and then... but this happened. I did this, but then I stopped. Like, don't stop, don't quit. You can fail. Fail means you're trying. That's the difference too. Fail means you're still in business.
Yep.
I failed, cool. But you didn't close your doors, right?
Yep.
No, okay, you failed. So get back up and keep going.
Yep.
And failing means you are attempting and trying.
Yep.
And I support that and I'm all for that. Cool. Yep. And so that's what it comes down to. So don't quit. Like I said, just do it, as Nike says, right? So all right, Stefan, appreciate you, dog. Thanks for being on.
Thank you, brother.
And yeah, we'll if this gets out before the 19th, come to our event, sexysalessummit.com. We got Michael Burnoff, Natalie Dawson, Andy Elliott, Carlos Reyes, Jordan Adler, Tommy Mello.
Yep.
Like, that lineup's stupid. I don't care who you are.
Stupid lineup.
Gangster.
If you're not coming, you got to get there. It's still, if you're here in the Phoenix, if you're in California, fly in, come to the event. You're going to be around like-minded people, business owners, people
VIP
who want to
lunch
win.
with the Macklin twins.
Exactly. People who want you to win. So I guarantee you, if you have the Elliott group, you have my team there, you have Jason's team and his squad, you're not going to lack for energy. And if you come there and you don't get something out of it, that's on you, boo-boo. So we'll see you there on the 19th.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
Peace out.
I'm bringing sexy back.